Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of ChubbyRay Comics Live. I am your host, ChubbyRay. It's wonderful to be here. How you doing, everybody? Welcome one, welcome all. We are here. We are live. I hope you guys can hear me. Please let me know. Please let me know if you can't. I think everything's working. I think everything's working fine. I had to redo my office, so we have some. There are some changes happening, and I had to disconnect and reconnect and all that stuff. NX is loud and clear. Thanks, buddy. Awesome. I finally got it going. I think there's something wrong with my. I think there's something wrong with my keyboard, but other than that, it seems everything's going fine now. What's going on, everybody? Let's see who was first. Oh, Batnessa was first. How you doing, Batnessa? Hello, hello. NX Captain. Hello, Trash Can Fam. What's up, Thunder? What's up, fam? Can Fam? Los Master's doing some multitasking. He's working on some electrodes while checking us out. Awesome, buddy. What's up, Trash Can TCF? What's going on, everybody? It's Comics and Tortilla. I love comics. I love tortillas. Just got my Legion of Superheroes 5 years later, Volume 1. Gonna finish The Curse and jump straight into it. Awesome. Well, I hope it's good. After that, I've never read it. I read the Legion all the way through, and I read the Baxter series, and then I got into 5 years later. So I just don't know how good 5 years later is as a starting point, because it is a drastic change for what the Legion's doing, and it goes to 5 years later, and it's very weird. I was not a huge fan of the 5 years later stuff, but I'm looking forward to reading it again someday. Hey, everybody. Hope all's well. Doing good, Jack Solo. How you doing, buddy? Hubba, what's up, buddy? Fassender. I love it. ChubbyRay Comics. Psh, more like flagrantly late Ray Comics. How dare you? I've had a headache all day. Haven't even felt like reading anything. Just watching YouTube. That sounds like laziness to me, Farsender. I hope that I can help with your your indignance to positivity today. I hope that I help you, start doing something productive, like watching ChubbyRay Comics. Russell Dow says, start off the week right with ChubbyRay Live. I start off the week right because of Russell Dow, and I'll explain that to you guys in a few minutes. It's really pretty cool. Wait till I show you what we got in. It's awesome. Far Center, let me know. Yeah, you sent it right, buddy. You sent it right. Let's see. I would have face revealed on Comics and Tortillas before ChubbyRay Comics. Thank you. I think that's an insult. Far Center says, oh, look who's throwing some fighting words out there. Far Center says, modern comics are better than pre-crisis. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I think the best era of comics are now. The best era of comics is always the modern era, the current era. However, DC Comics right now is as good as I've ever seen. Marvel Comics right now, I'd have to say, if we can go back 20 years, we go back to 2006. If we went back to 2006 Marvel, they would definitely be better. They would definitely be better than 2026 Marvel. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Marvel Trucker Chris says, hey, Ray, just ordered Brand New Day Volume 3 and X-Men Elsewhere from Adam. Awesome, buddy. Love it. I am not out on the farm, Big Fetty. Papa John just got his Moon Knight on the bus. Awesome, brother. Love it. Matt, what's going on, brother? Love it. Batnessa, you were asking about Huntress stories on Nirma Condition. You can pick up her original stories cheap on eBay Huntress Origins. The best Huntress story is, I think I have it. The best Huntress story is Batman. There's a Greg Rucka story called Batman and Hunt. Let me see if I can find it. It's Batman and Huntress. Let me grab it. There you go. Batman, Huntress, and the Question. This is by Greg Rucka. And it's a great story. It is really a good story. And Nightwing's in it too. And it's Batman. Well, Batman's not in it as much, but it's Huntress, Batman, the Question, Nightwing, Robin. It's got everybody in it. It's Batman and the Huntress. And it's written by Greg Rucka, Greg Rucka is one of the best writers. It's one of the best writers, especially a Batman writer. He's one of the best Batman writers of all time. So I'm a huge fan of Greg Rucka. Huge fan. What's up, Ray? How you doing, Paulo? Let's see. What comes after House of X, Power of X? Well, Dawn of X. House of X, Power of X. Then you start Dawn of X. I believe that's how it goes. And then it's Dawn of X1, Dawn of X2, X of Swords is sort of the way you're supposed to go. And then you'll do, I think, Reign of X omnibus. Cyclops says we have a heat wave in the UK. It's like sitting next to Dirk Morgna. Oh, love it. I love it. A Legion of Superheroes reference. Love it. Oh, Goomba Guy says that wasn't Mezza. Well, thank you, Goomba Guy. I appreciate it. I'm glad it wasn't an insult. Thanks, Hubba. My shelves are... Wait, you guys. I don't think you guys can see it, but let me show you this. Here's what I did. I redid the room. And I redid my paperback room, and check it out. This is now what I see to the right. This is to my right when I'm doing the show. There's my left. It's all my Batman. This is all my Batman stuff right there. It's all Batman. And then I have, here's to my right, all these books. Oh my God, doesn't that look fantastic? It's all paper, it's all my paperback stuff. In fact, my favorite's right there, Legion. Oh yeah, I got all my Legion books. Yep. So that's how we redid my office. So that's how my office looks now. I think it's pretty cool. Love it. DC Comics have Marvel in a chokehold. Yeah, you're right. But I don't think they're not concentrating on Marvel. They're just worrying about themselves. You know, that's how it's supposed to be. Why do you think Marvel are so poor currently? Is it editorial insight? Yeah, it's bad editors, okay, but it's also Marvel. Marvel's had to change at this, or Disney had to change at the top. Disney had to change at the top. They brought in a new CEO who devalued things like comics. You know what I mean? He's devalued it, and so their decisions, they're not making decisions. They're not making decisions for the good of comics. They're making decisions for the good of, all they're worried about is shareholders. And so they're like, well, let's just worry about our big properties, our movies, and blah, blah, blah. instead of worrying about making money as a whole, they should be worried about their comic book company, because their comic book company can make a ton of money if they do things correctly. Helena Bartonelli has far served better than pre-Kaiser's interest. Yeah, she was Earth 2's daughter of Batman and Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle. She was Batman and Catwoman's daughter on Earth 2. Yep. Let's see. Monty Data says, Ray, I'm sick at home. That sucks, brother. Sorry to hear that. I hear people complain about movie synergy all the time. That is far from the biggest issue. Yeah, it's not the movie synergy. It's not movie synergy. It is the head of Disney is not putting Marvel on their priorities list. It has been knocked down to where they're not doing anything. And he's named editors in charge of things, and editors are making some horrible decisions. Yeah, you're right. I have an omnibus on the floor. You're right. I just read that. I put that there because I'm taking it. It's going back. It was brought for me. It was back to me. It was brought for me. Thank you. As a gift from Amazon, but I had already ordered it from Crooks and Bandits. So that's the gift I'm going to return. And it's just been sitting on the floor, and you guys couldn't see it, but now you can because, because things have been moved around. Paolo says, Ray, I just joined the Discord, posted my first haul. Love it, buddy. I love it. We will definitely see it then. DC is letting creators do that. Yeah. DC put an actual creator and they named him their editor. So he's making the decisions. And because he is a fellow creator, he's letting creative types make decisions. That's what he's doing. Wes says, Sean from Comic Pals had a great rant on Marvel the other day. I know Comic Pals did a whole Marvel show Saturday. And when Sean gets mad, I love it when Sean gets mad. It's just great. Yeah, they're doing so many bad things. Here is my question for today, guys. Here is my question for today. And that is, which books need to come off the to be read pile? This is for all of us. Which books have been on the to be read pile too long, guys? What needs to come off? What needs to either get read or come off the pile? You know what I mean? There's two ways. There's two ways to take a book off your TBR pile. You know what I mean? There's two ways to take a book off a TBR pile. Number one is to read it. Then it will no longer be to be read. You know what I mean? The other way is to just admit, I won't read this in the next 6 months, so I'm just going to take it off the pile. So there's two ways. I put a book on the TBR pile and already read it thanks to, I think it was, who was it? Wes that, I'm reading it right now. It was Wes that told me about Kieran Gillen's Iron Man. So I started reading Kieran Gillen's Iron Man. I started reading it already. And I love it. It's fantastic. But that's a case of something. That's a case of something I put on the TBR pile. Was it not what it was? I can't remember who told me. It was somebody who said, somebody said the other day, they said, Ray, have you read Kieran Gillen's Iron Man? I was like, no, Kieran. I said, I don't even know about Kieran Gillen's Iron Man. And I didn't even know it. And then I went and checked and I had it. Oh, that was next Tuesday. Sorry, next Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday said there's a Kieran Gillen run of Iron Man. So I put it on the TBR pile. I've already started. So it's on the TBR pile about 10 minutes and I started reading it. Hello, you are on ChubbyRay Comics Live. Oh, you were on ChubbyRay Comics Live. Now you're already off it. Okay, I don't know who that was, but oh well. Marvel Trucker Chris's Dick Tracy Volume 3. I have Dick Tracy Volume 2 ready to go, buddy. Gary D says it's the Robin Compendium. Are you gonna start reading it, Gary D? You're either gonna read it or take it off. You're gonna read it or take it off. We have to figure out our piles. I physically need to put my pile somewhere to where I see it. I need to physically see it. Oh, sorry, my camera just fell. I need to physically see it, and then I'll move it. Hello. I need to physically see my pile, and then I can move books from the pile. You know what I mean? That's what I think I'm going to do. By the way, LP says 40 people watching and only 18 likes. It's crazy. Yes, Ray's generous, extremely sensitive, and we don't want him angry. Thank you, LP. I am extremely sensitive. You're right. Long Island Dash says, what up, Ray? What up, Long Island Dash? Ray, what do you think of the new Legion images? I really hate the costume designs, but the actual direction looks really interesting. Cyclops fan, I'm so excited for Legion. I'm so excited for the Legion. I hope it's going to be fantastic. I hope it's going to be wonderful. Because, as you know, I am a long-time member of the Legion of Superheroes. However, and I've told you guys before, I was not a Hayden Sherman fan. I was not until I read Batman. When I read Batman Dark Patterns, I was like, okay, now I get it. So I was excited when I heard Hayden Sherman wanted to write Legion and he's writing Legion. That actually excited me a little bit. All right. Now fast forward to me having seen the images. And I'll be honest. I'm not that excited. I'm not that excited about it. I mean, my favorite Legion artist of all time is Mike Grell. That's my favorite Legion artist, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my chair here. My favorite Legion artist is Mike Grell. And I'll show you his style. I'll show you that style. And then you guys will know. Then you'll understand the style I'm looking for. All right? Nothing against Hayden Sherman. Hayden Sherman has a very classic style. You know what I mean? It's very classic. It's a very classic style. I'm looking for... Here's Mike Grell style. Here's Mike Grell style right here. These are some Mike Grell drawn pages. All right. That's how Grell. This is my favorite all-time Legion artist. Is Mike Grell. My favorite all-time artist. That's my favorite right there. Okay. That is so far. It's so far away from what Hayden Sherman does. Nothing against Hayden Sherman. Nothing against him. But what he does is just, you know, it's not. I think I would be happier. Here's who I would have picked. Francis Manuel Paul, I believe is his name. That's who I would have picked if I could have been the person to choose who the artist of was going to be for the Legion of Superheroes. This is who I would have picked. And I'll show you pages of his art from Green Arrow. All right. This is Joshua Williamson. This is Joshua Williamson and Amonse Manuelpan. This is his artwork. This is who I would have picked to draw the Legion. This is who I would have. This is who I would have picked. I think Nahuel Pan is one of the best guys out there now. And Ghost Machine has stolen him. They have him he's working on the Rockefellers, which is crazy. It's not even a superhero book. This is who should have been the Legion artist, in my opinion. You know, I really liked Hayden Sherman's work in Dark Patterns, but Dark Patterns was a classic book. You know what I mean? So it made sense that you had someone. It would make sense that you had someone that had a classic style in that book. However, if I could have chosen someone, I would have picked Monse Nahuelpan. That's who I would have chosen. He's the artist that every time I see his work, especially when I saw it in the Green Arrow Against the Wall, which was volume 3 of Joshua Williamson's Green Arrow run. When I saw Nahuelpan's work in Green Arrow, I was like, holy shit. I was like, damn, that's who should be the Legion artist. He'd be great because he's worked with Joshua Williamson. Williamson loves him. That's who should have been the artist. That's not an insult towards Hayden Sherman. I think Hayden Sherman's a great artist. I think he's a great artist. And also, from what I understand, Hayden Sherman went to DC and said, I want to do the Legion of Superheroes. And I think that's great. The fact that this acclaimed artist went to them and said, this is what I want. And they said, okay, you can have it, which I think that's very cool. However, my first choice would have been Dan Mora. My first choice would have been Dan Mora because Mora's working with Williamson on Superman. But that's DC's most important book. You don't want to interrupt that. He's working on Superman first, and then he's working on World's Finest. So those are his books. It's most important that those books get done. And I can understand. Then it's Jorge Jimenez. I love Jorge Jimenez, and I can understand I understand he wanted the book, but he does Batman. Batman's their number one book. You don't want Batman delays, especially from your Batman artist, because he's doing Legion. So I can understand why he couldn't do it, but you could have put Hayden Sherman on. You could have put Hayden Sherman drawing something else. Yeah, and Mora's doing Superman, World's Finest, and Justice League Unlimited. So he's already number one on too many good books. I would have loved to have seen him on Legion Superheroes, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. But Nahuel Pan would have been perfect. So I don't want to insult Hayden Sherman. I love Hayden Sherman. I really liked his Batman. I really liked his Dark Patterns artwork a lot, but Nahuel Pan would have been my choice. I did not just say that. Ray did not just say he wanted Daniel Warren Johnson as artist with Frank Miller. But I did not say that. No, I can tell you right now, that was not said. Yeah. So anyway, Iron Man by Kieran Gillen, which next Tuesday told me to read. I've already started reading it. And I think it's the best Tony Stark. I think it's the best Tony Stark we've seen since Matt Fraction. I love Tony Stark in this. This might end up being my favorite Tony Stark of all. I mean, I'm reading it and I'm like, this is not quite as good, but it's just about as good as Matt Fraction's run. The art is Greg Land, so the art's fantastic because Greg Land is great. So I'm really liking it next Tuesday. Really, really a big fan of that Iron Man run. Thank you. But that came off my pile. So I don't know if I need to recreate my TBR pile, but I need to make a decision. I need to make decisions. Am I going to read books, or are books coming off the pile? Because I'm thinking I might need to take some books off the pile. I think I think that'd be something I'd do, is take books off. I don't know, but I figured I'd ask the question, see what do you guys think, and what do you do? What are you what's on your TBR pile? What's on your everybody name top 3 books on your to be read pile. All right? What are they? Top 3 books on your to be read pile. Mine's got to be I'm trying to think of what I've already pulled books that are sitting in the living room that I've got to finish reading. Oh, they're sitting in my bedroom that I got to finish reading. I have, but I just started reading Dark Crisis. Life Beyond the Panel says New Titans, Volume 1, Nightwing, Tom Taylor, Volume 1, and Invincible Iron Man, Volume 1. Okay. Yeah. Paperbacks. Those are paperbacks. Life Beyond Panels. Are those paperbacks? Or is it the omnibus for Taylor? Because if it's Tom Taylor and Bruno, if it's Taylor and Dedando, read that first. Oh my God. Scott says Red Coat Volume 1. Red Coat Volume 1 is so good, man. Invincible Omnibus, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Papa John. Read Absolute Superman is so good. Volume 1 of Absolute Superman is a blast. Gary D, you'll love it. You will love it. That's real fun. Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman's a book. Like, I started reading it, put it down, started again, put it down. And then I finally, the third time I tried reading it's when I got through it. So you have to be in the right mood for that. You got to be in the right, like I tell you, I've got Birds of Prey. I started reading Birds of Prey, and then I got off it, and now it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there waiting for me to finish. But I don't know if I'm going to finish it this month. Because here's what I've read so far. So far this month, I've read X-Men. I read X-Men Decimation. I read Star Wars by Kieran Gillen. I read Captain America by Nick Spencer, Volume 1. That's what I've read so far this month. Then I started Dark Crisis. Now, as soon as I get the second I get my Brand New Day omnibus, the second I get it, I will then start Brand New Day Volume 3. All right? I will start Brand New Day Volume 3. That's the plan. I know I'm not going to read. Birds of Prey. So maybe I'm going to take it off my to be read pile. And I have Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 5, which I'm ready to start when I have a break. But I'm going Dark Crisis into Brand New Day, then into, I haven't decided what I'm doing after that. I know the Brand New Day is going to be a quick read for me. I have a feeling because Volume 1 and 2 were just boom, boom. I couldn't stop. They were great reads. And like I said, I started reading Iron Man by Kieran Gillen, and I love it. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Wes says Batman, Fear State Saga, and X-Men by Claremont and Lee Volume 1 are my next reads. Wes, have you read The Cowardly Lot? If you read Cowardly Lot, start Fear State immediately after, because you're going to have to remember things from Cowardly. If you put too big a break in between Cowardly Lot and Fear State, then you'll have to go back and read. Then you'll have to go back, and it's a pain in the ass. All right, Life Beyond the Panel says Omnibus. Yeah, read Nightwing and Edando. That is Life Beyond the Panels. Trust me when I say this. When I say this, buddy, for me, Nightwing by Tom Taylor Volume 1 was a one night read. I read one night, I was done with that book. That's how good it is. I went to bed early and I started reading it. Next thing you know, it was 3 a.m. and I was done. I was like, son of a bitch. I finished the book. I loved Nightwing by Tom. It's probably my favorite, might be my favorite omnibus of all time. I loved it. It's such a good read. Read that because you'll zip through it. It's so good, man. It's very good. Gary D's got the Robin Compendium, Titans Omnibus, and Hulk Return of the Monster. I have not read Hulk Return of the Monster. I have read the Robin Compendium, and I have read the Titans Omnibus. The Robin stuff is fun because it's so many of those Robin miniseries. It's so many of them back to back to back to back. So that's fun. The Titans Omnibus is Tom Taylor. I love Tom Taylor. My favorite part of the Titans Omnibus, was the Beast World stuff. The Beast World story in Titans Omnibus is fantastic. I love that Beast World stuff. I would say I'll probably start with the Robin Compendium and get through, because, by the way, Volume 2 of that's coming out. When is Volume 2 coming out? Volume 2 is coming out fairly soon, I think. Paolo's got Legion of Superheroes Great Darkness Saga, Dixon Nightwing Compendium Volume 1, and Legion of Superheroes DC Finest. Legion of Superheroes DC Finest should be number 1. Start with Zap Goes the Legion. Read that before you read Great Darkness Saga. It'll make more sense. And then if you read Great Darkness Saga right after Legion of Superheroes DC Finest, the last issue in DC Finest Legion is my favorite issue of all time. That's the issue. When I talk about what is my favorite issue, that's what it is. It's number 203. Number 203 it's so phenomenal, man. My God, it is such a great issue. Such a fantastic issue of comics. It's Mike Grell art. It's Validus attacking the Legion. And there's a death. There's a major death in it, which is crazy. It is. Let's see, where is it? I'm trying to find them. I'll try to show you guys. Here it is. Here it is. Legion of Superheroes 203. Legion of Superheroes 203 is this one. And this is the last story in the DC Finest. It's such a great story. This is fantastic. And it includes a death. I don't want to give a spoiler, but it includes a death that is, it's unbelievable. The death is unbelievable. And that's how I started. That was my first comic that I read. That's what started me, and that's what started me down the hallway of comic fandom. And that's what you end up with. And that'll give you a really good idea of who the Legion is, who the Legion are, and you know what you're supposed to think of them. Justice League Dark Rebirth Omnibus, Secret Wars Battle World Omnibus Volume 2. Next Tuesday, I have all these Secret Wars Battle World omnibuses. I haven't read any of them. I haven't read a single omnibus of those yet. So I'd go with Justice League Dark. By the way, Cyclops fan says he also got Red Coat. Red Coat Deluxe. Oh, so good. A Flash by Joshua Williamson, Volume 2 is very good. Raul, right now, let me stop you. Read Flash by Williamson, Volume 2. It's so good. I read volume. If I was doing a omnibuses that I read immediately after purchasing, Joshua Williamson, Flash Volume 1, and Joshua Williamson, Flash Volume 2. Both of those omnibuses I read the same day I got them in the mail is when I started reading them. I love those omnibuses. Man, I love them. Love them. And I started reading the day I got them. So that would be my advice for Williamson. Neo Before Zod, Justice League Red, Gotham City Monsters. Dude, by the way, Justice League Red is on my file, Farsunder. That's on my pile. That has been sitting on my pile for about a month now. I still have not gotten to it. I really want to read that. Really want to read that. Making my way through Immortal Hulk on the last 2 issues now and loved it so far. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I've never read Immortal Hulk. I tried. It's so big. I tried. I go, oh my God, this is too much. I hated myself for it, but one of these days I'll go back to it. Definitely Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, Robin Compendium, and Nightwing Compendium. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, Thunder, is so good. You've got to read that. Read that one. That's a quick read. That's one of those books that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I finished it. I would read that. Get that one read all the way. Gracie Patrick, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Patrick, I'm with you, brother. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Dude, I can't even remember how many times my camera is not holding still. I can't even remember how many times I started reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I have started and stopped reading that book a dozen times. I've never read through all of it. I've never read through the whole thing. But I've stopped and started a dozen times. What I've read is very good. But I always end up finding something else. And I go, oh, I got to read this. I wish I didn't do that, but I do. AC says Batman by Snyder Volume 2, Nightwing by Taylor Omnibus. Oh, God, that's so good. Wolverine Omnibus Volume 7. So is that Volume 7? Is that not dead yet? Is that what Volume 7 is? I would read Nightwing by Taylor. That'd be my AC. Nightwing by Taylor would be my pick because, you know, that's a quick read. You can get it done. Like I said, you can do that in one night. You really can. Sometimes taking books off the pile or simplifying to a top 5 has been beneficial for me. Less pressure or overwhelming feeling. Just start and the process takes over and you're enjoying. Absolutely, Matt. Here is my problem. Here's my problem, Matt. And I've talked about this before, guys. I will start reading something entirely. I will start reading something off my TBR pile. I'll be like, this is a book I've meant to read. I got to start reading this. And I'll be reading it. And then I'll be sitting in here late when I'll be sitting in here after a show. And I'll just kick back and I'll go, oh. And I look straight up. And I see James Tynion Batman looking at me right in the face. And I'll be like, okay, I've read through that twice. I've read through it twice. Stop looking at it. And then I go, oh, but it's so freaking good. It's so good. And then I get up and I start walking toward it and I go, all right, I don't need to read it again. I've already read it twice. And then I pick it up and I go, oh, I don't want to, why am I grabbing this? I've read it twice. Why am I doing it? And I get mad at myself, right? And then I turn, and as I turn, I see Jeff Johns, Justice League, New 52, Volume 1. I go, oh, shit. Origin's such a good story. Oh, my God. And I end up taking both Tynion Batman Volume 1 and Justice League Volume 1 to my bedroom. And I read what I'm supposed to. I'm like, I'll start reading what I'm supposed to. I'm like, here we go. I'm reading what I said I was going to read. And I put it down, and I end up picking either Tynion Batman or Jeff Johns. I'm just gonna read a couple issues. Next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. I'm a third of the way through Justice League, or I'm already about to read Ghost Stories. You know what I mean? Or I'm almost done with Joker War. I do that all the time. I do it all the time. It makes me insane. So the problem, I gotta hold this camera different. Hold on, everybody. This camera is gonna have to be held a lot different. I just end up putting myself, I end up delaying my reads by looking at things that I've already read. You know what I mean? So I end up delaying my reads because I can't stop reading stuff that I've already read, and it's just terrible. It just sucks. Patrick says Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Spider-Man Volume 1, Web of Spider-Man Volume 3. Dude, it's got to be Web of Spider-Man Volume 1. You got to get that read. See, then you could read Volume 2. Wes says he did not have that experience with Absolute. I'm just saying that for me, I started and stopped it twice. And then the third time when I read through it, and I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. So it's just, it just depends. But I'm sure there's a book like that. LP says his TBR pile includes Absolute Catwoman, Thor by Simonson, and Chichester's Daredevil Fall from Grace. That's the tip of the iceberg. Well, let's clear one. Let's clear one off, buddy. LP, let's get rid of DG Chichester's Daredevil. Let's get that off the list. All right. Let's get it off the list. Don says Hulk Return of the Monster, Matt Fraction's Batman, Nightwing by Tom Taylor, Volume 1. Well, my choice. My choice is always going to be Nightwing by Taylor. However, Fraction's Daylight is so good. Fraction's Daylight. Oh my God. Fraction's Daylight is so good, man. I really enjoyed this book. I really liked it a lot. Loved it. In fact, I love that book. I thoroughly enjoyed that read. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Farsender says many people didn't like Dark Crisis. Dude, I've read it before. I loved it last time I read it. Dude, I loved it last time I read it, and I love it this time. I thoroughly love Dark Crisis. I think it's a great book. I think it's wonderful. I don't understand anybody not liking it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, it starts with the death of the Justice League. That's how it starts. I mean, come on. Next he says, whatever happened to Nick Spencer? I don't know, dude, but I enjoyed Nick Spencer's first Captain America a lot. I can't wait to read Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man, because after Brand New Day, it'll be what? We need to have the Spider-Man Big Time omnibus come out. Is that right? And then you get into Spencer's run after that, if I'm not if I'm not wrong. Monty says, yeah, I love Gail Simone. Love Gail Simone. Wes says, I'm currently, all right, Wes, go right into Fear State as soon as you finish The Cowardly Lot. Go right into Fear State because it will just make, it flows. It really flows. Cowardly Lot flows right into Fear State. In fact, they're connected. It should have just been the same story, but you know. Let me see. Beast World is really amazing, which surprised me. I was not expecting Beast World to be as good as it was. It was really amazing. Gary D says, Robin Compendium Volume 2 comes out in December. Yeah. So you need to get that read before the Volume 2 comes out. Mm-hmm. Planet says, you don't want to burn through Taylor's Nightwing. It should be enjoyed one issue a week or even a month. The combination of art and storytelling. Dude, I'm telling you, I love Tom Taylor's Nightwing. It's so fantastic. But Bruno Redoundo's art it's unbelievable. I think it's some of the best art. I think it's some of the best art we've gotten in the last 10 years. It's so good. He does things with panels that nobody else is doing. So it would have been great. Is currently reading the Green Lantern Rebirth Compendium. Thoughts? Good. Are you liking it? I've heard it's different, and I've read through. I haven't read it all, but I've read through some of it, and already I noticed when I was reading through it, I was like, shit, it's mapped differently. It's mapped differently during Green Lantern Omnibus, which is crazy. I love Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Omnibus, but I usually read it every year. I think this year I'm going to read the Green Lantern Compendium because it's mapped different. And I noticed it when I first got it. I started reading it and I was like, holy shit, this has got different things. It's got things in it that are not in the omnibus. Let's see. I'm trying to fast forward, guys. Ray, I'm reading the DC Finest and flip through the Darkness Saga. I feel overwhelmed with the amount of Legion members. Eventually, I remember all of them. Yeah, you'll eventually remember them all, especially if you start with the DC Finest. Yeah, because they're new. And then the Great Darkness Saga, there'll be some new members that you won't know, but you'll eventually catch on. Also going to read X-Men Elsewhen whenever I get it from Adam. I wonder if that's going to be good. I'm not getting that. I'm not a big John Byrne fan, but let me know, guys. Let me know. Glores, yeah, the Green Lantern Rebirth. I have not read Sinestro War, but the Rebirth Compendium is very, very good. I have not read it all, but I love the fact that DC Comics mapped it different from the omnibus, and not just different, but they just mapped it in a more comprehensive way. And I love the fact that DC does that. I think DC Comics maps their omnibuses better than Marvel Comics. If you read a Marvel Comics events book, all right? If you read a Marvel events book, and I'll give you an example, Absolute Carnage, that is mapped for dog shit. If you read a DC Comics event, read Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis, the most perfectly mapped events book ever. I wish they'd have put Identity Crisis at the beginning, but that's just me. It's neither here nor there. I wish at the beginning of Dark Crisis, they would have put Justice League Incarnate. I wish the Justice League Incarnate could have been in Dark Crisis. Not gonna lie. I mean, it would have Infinite Frontier. I'll show you. Infinite Frontier is, if you really want to get the full experience for Dark Crisis, then you should read this book. Read this book before you get into the omnibus. And I don't understand why this isn't included. I'm not sure why they didn't include it, but but Infinite Frontier is great. It's Joshua Williamson and Germanico. It's a great story. And you need everything that's in here before you read Dark Crisis. And it's a fun read too. So I do have some questions about that, but for the most part, DC maps things perfectly. Let's see. Not surprised you haven't read Battle Worlds omnibuses yet. You don't like? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those types of stories. Let's see. I'm fast forwarding, guys. I'm not ignoring. I'm fast forwarding because I've really got so much time. That's quite a jump from Zap to Darkness. Legion stories are arcs, so dense with lore. I have to read it all. That's the only problem is we don't have. I mean, if you read Zap Goes the Legion, all right. If you read the DC Finest, the stuff that comes after it is where does this this is Legion of Superheroes 234. This is 234 and you end with issue 203. So you're missing quite a lot. That's the next, and that's if you can get it. If you can get that Legion book, that's the Legion of Superheroes, Paul Levitz, Keith Giffen, Volume 1. If you could get the DC Archives will give you 213, 14, 15. This will take you all the way to Superboy 223. This will take you through Superboy 223, Volume 12. And then you start, if you can get Legion of Superheroes by Levitz and Giffen, Volume 1, then you'll be at 234. And then after you finish Volume 1, you go to Volume 2. And this picks up with 240, I think 241. This picks up with Legion of Superheroes 241. Okay. Then you go to Legion of Superheroes Before the Darkness, which picks up with Legion of Superheroes 260. And then you get Before the Darkness Volume 2, which kicks off with 272. And then after this book, you go to the Great Darkness Saga Deluxe Edition, the Curse Deluxe Edition. But that's how you have to read Legion. That's how you have to read them, because DC's collection of them are so screwed up. I think we need to have a Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes Bronze Age. And I think you got to take that all the way to when the name changed. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, the name changed from Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes to Legion of Superheroes. That's what it needs to do. And they need to have omnibuses of those two eras. And then they could have the Before the Darkness omnibus. Kevin says, Ray, hope you're doing well. Just a quick question. At your heaviest, how much did you weigh? What was the hardest? Oh, at my heaviest, I don't know if I got to 600. I don't know if I got to 600, but I was definitely around 580. Recorded, I was about 580 something. And then I stopped weighing myself. And the hardest excuse me. The hardest thing to do is walking. Because I ended up getting into a wheelchair. Because I couldn't walk, because my knees were so shot. And it took working out, changing my diet, and working out 5 days a week. And I'm not joking, man. When I first started in 2019, and I know this about comics, and I'll get back to comics in a second, guys, seriously. When I started working out, I was working out from my wheelchair, and I could do a little bit of curls, one arm at a time curls. One arm at a time curls. I could do one barbell at a time shoulder work, all right, from my wheelchair. And then I had some bands, and I could pull some bands apart. And then I could get on a recumbent cross trainer, also called a new step. I could get on that for 5 minutes at a time. 5 minutes at a time. That's all I could do. And I was out of breath. And I felt like every time, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. But the second time I got in, I could stay on for 7 minutes. The third time I got in, I think I was there another 7 minutes. And I did it every day. Before long, I was going 20 minutes. And I was like on the lowest level. And then you start bumping up your level, and you bump up your amounts. And it just happened. It happened. And I started increasing the weights I was doing. And I started increasing the resistance on the recumbent cross trainer. And as that happened, and eating better, I started dropping some weight. Now, when you weigh 600 pounds, your body wants to lose weight. So anybody who says, oh, I'm trying to lose weight and I just can't at 600 pounds, they're full of shit. If you're 600 pounds, your body wants to lose weight. And by changing your diet and moving more, you will lose weight. You will lose weight. You just have to embrace the weight loss. Embrace the weight loss. When you embrace the weight loss, you feel better. And just keep doing it. Keep doing it and use that to motivate you. Listen, I know there's people out there that are going, you're crazy if you're happy because you lost, because you only weigh, oh my God, I only weigh 550 pounds. Listen, it is amazing. When you used to weigh 600, 550, that is an accomplishment. Don't let thank you for the super pat. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Ray, always unable to catch your streams live, usually video on demand because I'm from Singapore. It's 7 a.m. here. Thank you so much, buddy. Good luck for your surgery. I had loose skin surgery too, as a former big man myself. Muhammad, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys, you know, you got to remember, you've got to remember that there are people out there that are worse off than you. So celebrate any victory you can. Celebrate any victory that you can get. Celebrate it. But mine started with I was happy because I could actually go 5 minutes on a recumbent cross trainer. And it excited, and I was like, I made it 5 minutes. Wow. And my trainer would slap me high fives. My trainer, Mike Purdy was his name. He would give me a high five and act like I just climbed Mount Everest because I lasted 5 minutes on a recumbent cross trainer. By the way, earlier today, as my cool down, I did 48 minutes on a recumbent cross trainer. As my cool down. So I'm just saying, celebrate your victories and be proud of yourself. Be proud. That's how you get started. And if anybody has problems, feel free to drop me a message. I'm always willing to help you out, man. I'm always willing to help you out. Ray, can I read Nick Spencer's? Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, absolutely. You can. Life Beyond the Panels. The only thing is you need to realize Winter Soldier is in Nick Spencer's run. And you've got to remember that Nick Spencer, that Ed Brubaker is the one who brought Winter Soldier back. So you'll need to know that. But yeah, you could read it. You could read it just fine. Spencer's Spider-Man run was great. I can't wait because I'll read Nick Spencer's Spider-Man after it's Brand New Day, and then Joe Kelly's run, right? The Joe Kelly omnibus. And then I could read Spencer. Is that how it works? Let me know because I'm trying to do it chronologically. Ray, I thought Dark Designs was good, but Joker War made me fall off. Is the rest of his run? Grayson, okay. I loved their Dark Designs. And I enjoyed Joker War. However, the next story is Ghost Stories. And I got to tell you, and you can ask this of Wes too, because I think Wes has read it all or is currently reading it all. I thought Ghost Stories their Dark Designs was definitely peak James Tynion. Their Dark Designs was the best part of that. I thought number 2 was Ghost Stories. I loved Ghost Stories. And then I thought number 3 was Cowardly Lot. And then you got Fear State, and then I think Joker War was the least. The first time I read it, I thought Joker War was the worst part of James Tynion's run. But in rereading it, I understood what it was, and I placed it properly in my ranking system. But yeah, the first time, very first time I read it, I did not think that much of Joker War. You know what I mean? By the way, Gary D says, Ray, would it be good to read Death in the Family right before Rob? I would read the Death if you could get the Death in the Family. I'm trying to see if I have it. Yeah, the Death in the Family Deluxe Edition. Death in the Family Deluxe Edition has Death in the Family and A Lonely Place of Dying. You need A Lonely Place of Dying because that is the debut and introduction of Tim Drake. So you need that. You definitely need to read that. So if you have a Death in the Family Deluxe Edition, I would read that first and then follow it with Robin Compendium Volume 1. Then you would really be I'll tell you, you'd be awesome. You would be great right there. That would be a great start. A great start. Let's see. Ray in chat. My to be read is Immortal Hulk, Rom V, Detective Comics, and getting back to Phaling's Covenant issue and Classic X-Men. Dude, I don't have. You want to know number one on my Holy Grail, my White Whale list is the Phaling's Covenant Deluxe Edition. That's, man. I would trade. I'm not joking. I would trade 2 omnibuses to someone for the Phaling's Covenant. That's how much I want X-Men's Phaling's Covenant Direct Edition or Deluxe Edition. I would love that book. Would love that book. Ray, no X-Men Elsewhere. What are you, a farmer? I'm sorry, I'm not. No. Chris says Adam's already sold out. Yeah, it's selling out everywhere. It's selling out everywhere. Yeah. But, you know, and what can I say, man? Chewy wants to know, what is Infinite Frontier? Infinite Frontier is, if you read Dark Crisis, Chewy, hello. Have you read Dark Crisis? Infinite Frontier is President Superman. It's President Superman putting together his team. He's putting his team together. It's really good. This takes place in, I forgot what Earth they're on, but everybody's from different Earths, but he puts together a team. That's President Superman. It's him putting together the whole team. And it leads right into Dark Crisis. And it's got there's a whole Barry Allen story in it. Because Barry Allen, you got to remember, Barry Allen gets lost. He gets lost because of, what he's doing in Infinite Frontier. And in the beginning of Dark Crisis, you see President Superman, but it's already after these events. And this has Captain Carrot. It's a crazy team. Infinite Frontier is just a nutty Justice League team. there is some great stuff. There really is. But this is the true start to the Dark Crisis saga, which is why I'm shocked that it's not in the omnibus. I thought for sure the omnibus was going to start with Infinite Frontier. I mean, there you go. Look, it's got President Superman, Barry Allen Flash, and Psycho Master there. The whole, because the whole element where Barry, I don't want to give spoilers, but Barry thinks Barry might be Flash or Psycho Pirate or whatever. Barry flashes back to the original Crisis. And it's all in here. This is a great book. And I think this is still readily available. So if you read this before Dark Crisis, it will make more sense. In fact, I need to reread this. I read it years ago when it first came out. So I suggest a read of that. Did you enjoy Crisis on Infinite Earths? It's a little bit overrated, but I enjoyed it. I was in high school when it came out. A little bit overrated, but the art is fantastic. Fantastic art. And I love Marv Wolfman. But it's dense. You got to read through it a couple of times to really get it. But I think it's good. I don't think it's great, but I love the artwork on it. My favorite Crisis story is Infinite Crisis. I rank Infinite Crisis 1. Probably Dark Crisis 2. Crisis on Infinite Earths 3. Final Crisis 4 of the Crisis events. That's what I think. Let's see. My reading pile has become too large. I don't know where to start. Yeah. Sometimes, listen, Chris, that's my point. My point today is sometimes we have to shrink. Sometimes we just have to shrink our reading pile. Sometimes our to be read pile gets too big. And we actually get to a point where it's better off to just remove books from it instead of convincing ourselves we're going to read them. Let's just remove book and say, I'll revisit this. Come up with your reading pile. Put it on a desk or something and remove some books from it. And then say, you know what? I'll look at these again in a couple months and decide if I'm going to read them or not. Whatever it takes. Create your reading pile, but then read from it. That's my problem is I won't read. I'll end up not reading from the pile. I'll read from other things. You know what I mean? It was, it's just, that's what I wanted today's show to be about is how do you control your 2BR pile? The way you control it is to lower it. Do you guys think should we limit our to be read piles? Do we want to limit our to be read piles to like under 10 books? Give me a number. What do we want to put our to be read pile at? And this is 10 books, not omnibus, paperbacks, deluxe edition, epics, DC finest. Just books, period. 10 books and under, period. Because that way, and if you start a month with a TBR pile, you don't add to it during the month. You don't add to it till the end of the month. July 1st, you can add more. You know what I mean? July 1st, you add more, but don't add more in the middle of, don't add more in the middle of the month. Unless it's something that you at the beginning of the month, in the beginning of June, I said, no doubt when Dark Crisis comes out and when Brand New Day comes out, I will immediately start reading them. So I was ready and I was prepared. So they were already on my TBR list when the month started, even though they weren't physically on the list. I knew when they would come in that I would read them. Wes agreed with me. He says Ghost Stories is great. I agree. Joker War wasn't as good as their Dark Designs. The top 3 Tynion Batman stories were their Dark Designs, Ghost Stories, and Cowardly Lot. I loved those stories. And don't get me wrong, I loved Fear State and I loved Joker War. But the first time through, I liked Joker War less than the second time through and less than the third time through. It got better every time I read it. And then this is my suggestion for Wes. Wes, after the Tynion run, read The Abyss. This is Joshua Williamson, but read The Abyss. The Abyss is very good. This is a great Batman run. It's very short, but read this. The Abyss is fantastic. And, of course, you must read Shadow War. You've got to read. Shadow War is amazing. Read Shadow War. All right? And then right after Shadow War, get into Tamaki. Then start reading Tamaki and read Tamaki all the way through. It's awesome. Ray, have you read any of the Marvel UK stuff? I've never read any of the Marvel UK stuff. Never have. Hey, Ray, I finally made it to an Ollie's in Springfield today. How often do you think they'll add more collected editions? My wife asked them, Jacob, and I think she talked to the manager, and he said that they would get new shipment. He said they'll get a new shipment at the beginning of the month, and they hold on to it to put stuff out throughout the month. So I don't know if that is July 1st or what, but they'll be having new books showing up. He said at the beginning of the month. Now, they are brand new, but that's what he told my wife. So, Jacob, check it out. My wife's been going in there buying stuff every day in hopes that it will make them expand. In fact, I got more giveaways. Giveaways, comments, my wife. Got another Nightwing to give away. I've got, you guys, she ended up buying this Captain America book. Look at this. And she got one to give away as well. So I'll give one of these away. And I have another New 52 Deluxe. I've got Penguin, House of Gotham, and I just got Death and the Maidens Deluxe Edition. Batman Death and the Maidens Deluxe Edition by Greg Rucka. This is fantastic. So, yeah, it just makes me happy. Makes me happy. And I've got more neighborhoods to give away too. So, my wife got all those books from Ollie's. Got them all, Jacob. If you've been there, you know they got a nice selection. Remember when Joker became the ambassador of Iran? Yeah. Or but they had to change it. It was Iran originally, and then they changed it. What did they? What was it? What was the country that What was the country they used for when they changed it from Iran? Warner Brothers was forced to change, or DC Comics was forced to change. They were forced to change Joker's ambassadorship from Iran to being from Kondak or whatever fake country that DC made up, and I can't remember what it was. Raging Slot says, jumping on late, Ray. Just wanted to say, hey, I really enjoy the content and ended up catching the videos. Like, oh, thanks, man. Last two reads have been Legion, the Baxter Run. Yes. Did you read individual issues of the Baxter Run? Did you read individual issues of the Baxter Run, or did you find the hard to find trade paperbacks? Eye for an Eye and the more you think, which are. This is the only Baxter Run series we have, and it's really crappy. I mean, it's very crappy, but at least it's a collected edition. The Baxter series stuff is really good. I think the Baxter series is definitely coming in DC Finest. I think it's definitely coming in DC Finest or an omnibus. I think that is definitely coming. And Nightwing, God, that's awesome, dude. That's like that's a Chubby Ray reading order right there, pal. I'll tell you that. Recently bought a Generation X paperback to get the Phalanx Covenant story that was included. Oh, really? I would love the Phalanx Covenant. Justice League Incarnate is great. Best part of the whole Infinite Frontier events. Yeah, Justice League Incarnate is. Here, you guys, this is the whole. When they did Dark Crisis, I had to get Infinite Frontiers, Tales from Dark Crisis, Justice League Incarnate, and Dark Crisis. So I had to get all of these books, and I figured that this would be the omnibus, but no, the omnibus includes stories from Aquaman. Aquaman was a short-lived Aquaman miniseries, but it was called Aquaman. And man, the story from Aquaman is so freaking good in the Dark Crisis omnibus. It included that. They included stories for the Flash. They've got all. It's really, the book is mapped very good. It's mapped really good. But I just thought it was. I just thought it was going to be these books, and it isn't. They've mapped it even more intensely. So it's really, really something. Patrick says, what did everybody get from Adam this week? All right, here we go. Let me show you, Patrick. I'm going to show you from Adam from crooksbanditscomics.com. All right. crooksbanditscomics.com. I'm going to show you. I will show you what I bought from Adam. All right. So let me show you. Here we go. Before Adam sent my books, before he sent my books, he goes, here, Ray, here's the books you ordered. All right, here's what they look like. All right. That's my collection of books that I ordered. That is the collection. You see Absolute, what is that? Absolute Flash, Geiger, Iron Man Epic Collection, Crash and Burn, Fourth World DC Finest, Justice League of America Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 1, which is replacing my Justice League of America Volume 1. I've got to get rid of it. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 7, X-Men Trial of Gambit, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Legends Omnibus, and Supergirl New 52. This is what I ordered from Adam. All right. Then this is how crazy I am. Adam also sent me this. These are my books. This is how anal I am with this stuff. Adam sends me a picture of my books, and then he sends me a picture of all my books already prepackaged before he puts them in the box. I have such issues. I have a lot of issues. So that's what I got, Patrick. I'm insane. I really think I'm nuts. That's what I got. I'm fast forwarding. I'm trying to fast forward, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Cycles Fence is Blackest Night's favorite modern crossover. Blackest Night's fun. Russell says, I like book club. When I have book club, I always know what I'm reading. Well, we got it. I promise, guys. I promise I'll put the poll up. I got to put the poll up this week but now I'm really crazy. I'm crazy because I got my surgery coming up. So I don't even have a guest. I don't have a guest for roundtable tomorrow. I'm trying to reach out to Cody. I want to try to reach Cody and Dom to see if they just want to come on and talk comics instead of because I don't have time to round up an actual guest and write questions. You know what I mean? So I want to because I'm nuts. My surgery is a week. I got 1 week till surgery. So I'm trying to get all this stuff done. So it's because of my busyness. I'm really scrambling. But I will put the poll up this week for book club. All right. I just put like 2/3 of my TBR piles back on the shelf. Yes. Try to focus on 3 books maximum. Mine was 9 or 10. Is that out of hand? Is 10 books out of hand? Maybe we want to go 5, guys. But I read a lot though. I think 10's good for me. Ray, do you read No, I have not. Goomba Guy, I have not. And I do. It was brought up for us to read for book club. It was brought up, and I have not read it yet. But someone did bring that up, and that maybe I'll put that on the poll. Goomba, I'll put that on the poll, buddy. That will be one of the choices. All right. B. Mitch says, I'm a big reader and usually write about them after each issue in the collected. So I usually max like 5 to 8 collected per month, whether they're physical or digital. I think it's great. Oh, Wes, you already read Abyss and Shadow War? Okay. Oh, you will read it. Okay, you will read it. Yeah. Those take place right at the end of Tynan's run. Muhammad says, Muhammad's absolutely correct. You're 100% correct. You guys, if you could get them, because they're so out of print. But if you can get the Damian Wayne Robin series, oh my God, you guys, it's so good. Volume 1, especially Volume 1, the Lazarus Tournament's amazing. Volume 2 and Volume 3. If you read 1, 2, 3 of Robin, in fact, this should be an omnibus. I will go to my grave. Damian Wayne's story is so freaking good. This is all written by Joshua Williamson. Read this, and this. All right. You read all 3 of those. And then as soon as it's done, as soon as it's done, you read Shadow War. Oh my God. In fact, I'm putting Shadow War with them. I'm putting Shadow War next to them in the shelf. And then you read, then right after that, you read Batman, Robin, Road to War, and Batman versus Robin. All those books connect. They all connect. Read the 3 paper. Muhammad, did you read that? Am I right? You got to read all 3 paperbacks of Robin, Shadow War, Batman and Robin, Road to War, and Batman versus Robin, and it all makes sense. It is amazing. It is amazing. You read volume 1 and volume 2, Shadow War, then go back to read volume 3. Then read Road to War and Batman versus Robin. Oh my God. It is unbelievable. If you can get your hands on it. I know they're out of print and hard to be and hard to find, but goddamn, you guys, if you can get those 3 Robin paperbacks, they are unbelievable. It's some of the best books that I've read. I loved those Robin paperbacks. They're amazing. I love them. By the way, 42 likes, 64 people watching. LP is heartbroken. Come on, give me some likes, people. I mean, give me some likes. Ray, you ever read the newspaper comic collections of Batman? I know it's not. No, I've never read them. I've never read them, buddy. I'll have to read them. Ray, I picked up Legion of Superheroes, the Cursed Deluxe Edition on Amazon. Oh yeah, it's good, especially if you read Great Darkness Saga before it. The thing to remember with the Curse is, if you are familiar with Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl get married. All right, they got married right around issue 200-ish. Okay. And they have children, and you need to know that. You need to know that before reading the Curse. All right. But now I just told you, so you're good to go. Hi, Chubby Ray. I'm still new to omnibus collecting. Recently learned about pages sagging in the middle and why they are on the shelf. I've never had a problem with it. Mega Donut. Never had a problem with it. Wes says he just pre-ordered the Brave and Bold Bronze Age omnibus reprint from Adam. Way to go, brother. I am selling the Brave and the Bold Omnibus Volume 1. And I'm also selling, hold on, I'm also going to be selling this. Let's make sure I don't show crack. I am also going to sell Justice League of America Bronze Age Volume 1 because I'm getting the reprint from Adam. So I'll sell this too. So I'm getting all my Bronze Age reprints. Whenever they put them out, I'm going to get them because I want the Bullet logo and I want the new paper. So if anybody wants them, if you don't mind about that stuff, buy them off me on Discord. And I'm selling Brave and the Bold Volume 1 Bronze Age, of which I've accidentally bought twice, and I know I'll buy the reprint when it comes out. Jesus. I hate myself. I really hate myself. So make an offer. Send me an offer above $80. Send me an offer for Brave and the Bold Volume 1 if you guys want it. All right. That's if you want it. Let's see. Patrick says love it. Oh, Forever Evil's so good. Oh my God. Let's see here. I'm fast forwarding. For the book club, it would be good to read Last Days of Lex Luthor. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be on the poll. Frederico, Last Days of Lex Luthor will be on the poll. All right. Last Days of Lex Luthor, Rogues. Rogues is going to be on the poll. And then we'll get we'll put some some Marvel books on there too. You know what I mean? Gary D says he's going to stick to 5. I've heard Cyclops fan. I've heard how much I'm going to like. I can't wait to read it. I'm really looking forward to reading it. All these crises is just like having teenage daughters. I've had a teenage daughter. Now she's a 20-something-year-old daughter. By the way, my daughter, her wisdom teeth. Oh, I definitely remember how miserable I was when the wisdom teeth were coming in. And my daughter is putting up with it now. Oh, man. Mr. Awesome says, cut some cardboard and place it under the page block, and that'll help. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. There you go. Ray, do you think you'll ever open your own comic book store? Sounds like, no. No. I don't think I don't think I could ever do that. See you next Tuesday says, Ray, you're buying the new books for the. Yes, I have a problem next Tuesday. I have issues, obviously. Yeah, Forever Evil. Forever Evil is Jeff Johns' greatness. I think it's Jeff Johns at his peak. The Forever Evil Omnibus is great. Of course, I love the Dark Side War Omnibus too. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out some Marvel books, and then I'll put the poll up, all right? Jack Soul says he just finished Dick Tracy Volume 1. Yeah, dude, wasn't it fun? I love that Dick Tracy. And I got Volume 2. By the way, Trade Paperback Tuesday tomorrow is going to have the Iron Fist, the Immortal Undead Iron Fist on it. If you're into me talking about how good books are, you might not want to watch that one. I'm just putting it out there. Wasabi said his dentist said, yeah, my daughter is 24. She's 24 years old. And she's got 4 wisdom teeth coming in. Oh, man. And they've all got to come out. Poor kid. The good news for my daughter is I remember when I got mine taken out. I didn't get my last one taken out till I was 31 years old. Because the dentist said, well, they're coming in just fine, which I didn't think was a thing. They said, oh, they're coming in just fine. Well, it didn't come in just fine. And they ended up having to do surgery when I was 31. And it was painful as hell being 31 and getting wisdom teeth out. So I'm glad my daughter's going through it at 24 instead of 31. Tom says, it's just me here to raise. No, it's because I took that shelf. I had a shelf right behind me, and I took that out. Actually, I put it on top of these shelves right here. Yeah. Bad Nessa says the worst part of Ray's sickness is the fact that he's infecting other people. It's his fault. I'm obsessed with comic books and spending all my money. Listen, you could be spending all your money on other nonsense stuff. When you spend your money on comic books, you're spending it on something that it's always going to be. It's not like you're spending it on Hostess Twinkies, which you end up eating, you know what I mean? And then they're gone. You're spending it on comic books, which will always be in a room in your house that you can go back and enjoy over and over and over. And at least you're not spending it on drugs and alcohol. Yeah. Or sex. I always tell my wife, I go, yes. I go, so what? I'm addicted to comic books. I could be addicted to sex. She goes, what do you mean sex? I go, have you not seen these people who are addicted to sex going around having sex with anybody? I mean, those people have a problem. I said, you could have a husband like that. So yeah, I might spend hundreds of dollars every week. on comic books, but at least I'm not spending it on prostitutes, or at least I'm not spending it on cheap hotel rooms in order to have sex with prostitutes. So consider yourself lucky. That's what I convinced my wife. I go, at least I could be spending it on sex. So as addictions go, comics is a good addiction. At least in my opinion. That's what I think. All right, so let me go to the Discord. I want to go to the Discord and see what we have. If we got any new hauls. You guys know I love to look at haul videos. All right, let's look at some videos. Oh, I see. Oh, there's all kinds of good stuff up. Hold on. Let me see. All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna share some of these hauls. I'm seeing a bunch of good hauls. We got all kinds of good stuff. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Here is our Discord hauls. This is from Spidey. And I see Sex Criminals by Fraction and Zdarsky, Bendis Secret Invasion, Dark Avengers, Wolverine Goes to Hell. Oh, man. Wolverine Goes to Hell is fantastic. Oh, wow. He's got Wolverine Goes to Hell, Avengers versus X-Men, Wolverine those all go together. Dude, Wolverine Goes to Hell has Schism in it. So read Wolverine Goes to Hell. Then read Wolverine and the X-Men. Then read Avengers versus X-Men. Oh, you got a great collection there, brother. Plus got Wolverine by Jason Aaron, Secret War by Bendis, Thunderbolts Dark Reign, New Avengers Volume 1, New Avengers Volume 2. Dude, that is a top-notch haul, brother. Top-notch haul. I applaud that haul, my man. That's fantastic. That's Spidey. All right, this is Chewy Queso. Hello. You guys want to see Chewy Queso? Here's Chewy Quesos. Action Comics by Dan Jurgens, Volume 1. Volume 2 is about to come out. That's a good purchase. JLA by Grant Morrison. Iron Man Extremis, which is great. By the way, Iron Man by Kieran Gillen. There's a whole Extremis angle in it. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1. Oh, my God. Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer. That's Spencer and Otley. That is really good. I can't wait. I read some of the paperbacks of that already. I'm not going to lie. I read some paperbacks. But I cannot wait to tear into the omnibus, which I will chronologically tear into it. You got Volume 1 and 2. X-Men by Kieran Gillen. Oh, which is great. You guys know that's one of my favorite omnibuses that I read this year. I love that omnibus. Uncanny X-Men by Brian Michael Bendis. And Wolverine. Boy, way to go, Chewy Queso did it. You read Uncanny X-Men by Kieran Gillen. Then you read Wolverine and the X-Men. And then you read Uncanny X-Men. Read them 1, 2, 3. You will not be disappointed. That's a great haul, brother. Very good. All right. Here's Gary D's haul. Gary D, the funk's on me. All right. Gary D's got Titans by Tom Taylor. Batman, Bruce Wayne, murderer turned fugitive. Dude. Bruce Wayne, murderer turned fugitive is so good. That is so good. That's Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker. I think it's one of the finest Batman omnibuses ever. I love that omnibus. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes. That has some awesome Neil Adams art. Hulk, Return of the Monster. Love it. Batman by Loeb and Sale. Way to go, Gary D. Flash by Jeff Johns. Volume 1. Very good. Batman by Paul Dini. Awesome. And Spectacular Spider-Man by J.M. DeMatteis and Sal Buscema. That is a nice haul, brother. All right, this is Toddy. Toddy's got, by the way, Toddy, I love the photo, or I love the TV that you have above. All right, you got Nightwing Volume 1, Compendium 2, Compendium 3, love it. Nightwing, the Prince of Gotham, love it. Just Imagine, the Stan Lee album, the Stan Lee creating DC Heroes omnibus. Legion of Superheroes 5 years later, that's awesome. Secret Six by Gail Simone, Volume 1 and 2. DC Finest Western, way to go, brother. Lobo, big friggin' compendium. Challengers of the Unknown. Challengers of the Unknown is a lot of fun. Capes, I just got Capes. I can't tell what this one is. Is that BIPD? Dave Cardboard Shadow Life. I love the first part of it, and I love who's that fat guy you're watching? That guy's pretty impressive. Here is this whose haul? This is somebody's haul, right? This is it's not the name. They usually go by a different name, right? Is that Monty or whose is that? Huh. I can't remember whose haul that is. Oh, it's Paolo. Oh, Paolo. All right, buddy. Here we go. Nightwing Compendium Volume 1, 2, and 3. Love it. DC Finest, Wonder Woman, Origins and Omens, and Dawn Before Darkness. Love it. That's the Gail Simone stuff. Legion of Superheroes. Zap goes the Legion. Love it. Legion of Superheroes, Great Darkness Saga. Love it. Ghost Rider by Jason Aaron. Sex Criminals by Zdarsky and Fraction. Kill or Be Killed. That is some Ed Brubaker greatness. And 5 Gears in Reverse. Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. That criminal stuff is so good. I never know. I don't know whether are those deluxe editions. I never know. I don't know if they're just hardcover. I don't know. What do you guys consider those? And Gunslinger Spawn. Batman the Night, awesome. Batman Dark Patterns. Batman and Robin Year One, love it. Batman Death in the Family. Batman Killing Joke and Other Stories. Batman Year 1 and 2. Batman Red Skies. And Batman Death of the Chemical Strain. He got all the DC finest Batman books. Way to go, brother. Plus, and I love this, James Tynion Volume 1 Batman, James Tynion Volume 2 Batman. I am applauding. And Mariko Tamaki, Detective Run. Oh, plus Paul Dini's Zatanna Omnibus and Nightwing by Taylor and Dedando. Oh my God. Plus I'm looking at the background. Look at that. I'm seeing some Wolverine. Very nice. I'm seeing all the X-Men. Paolo, I'm proud of you, brother. That's a nice haul. Here's Xbox by Degrees. Xbox by Degrees always has good stuff. Let's see. He's got Conan. Look at that. What is that? Wonder Woman and Conan. I don't have that. And you got it for under $7? Oh, my God. Oh, dude, I'm jealous. That's awesome. Look at this. Wow, that would be great. I didn't even know that. I've never heard of that before. Supergirl, Body and Soul, Wonder Woman, Conan, Blood Hunt, Renban's a lot of fun. Under the Red Hood, you know I'm a big fan of that. Highest, Furthest, Fastest, love it. And Ex Machina. Xbox, good haul, brother. Very good. Jamie got Superior Spider-Man. Look at that guy. That is awesome. I've never, you know what? I've never read that. You guys, I've never read Superior Spider-Man before. I've got the omnibus. I've never read it. I'm jealous. Very nice. Way to post the hauls. That is fantastic. Good job, guys. Patrick says, still pissed I missed getting the Captain Marvel omnibus. B. Mitch says, just got back to enjoying comics after a few former patients at my old job used to say off their phones in video games. The kids wanted to read them. I got a fan out about capes again. Yeah. Wonder Woman and Conan. Yes. Next Tuesday, I'm the same way. I've never heard of it. How in the hell have I never heard of that? Damn. How is there something I've never heard of? How in the hell, how have I've never heard of that. I think, did you guys read Avengers No Surrender, No Road Home? If you read Avengers No Surrender, No Road Home, then you know the best part about that omnibus is the team up between Conan and the Scarlet Witch. The team up with Conan and the Scarlet Witch is the best part of that entire book. I imagine Conan and Wonder Woman is amazing. Wow. I'm so jealous you found that. That's awesome. I got to check my Ollie's and see if they have it. Next Tuesday says, not reading Superior Spider-Man is a farmable offense. How dare you? I haven't. I'll got to get to it chronologically. I'll have to get to it chronologically. You know how that's how I prefer to read my Spider-Man, chronologically, and that will be the plan. That will be the plan. I will read to it when I get to it. All right, so we have decided we're going to whittle our to be read piles down to 5 and under. We're gonna, right? 5 and under, guys. Have we agreed? 5 and under. Or for me, 10 and under, because I read a lot. If you read a lot, we'll let you go 10 and we'll let you go 10 and under. All right? But if you're just a normal reader, 5 and under is fine. 5 and under is fine. Let me get, now I got more hauls, guys. Let me check out, I got to check out Hassan's. All right, Hassan and Mama has got a haul he wants me to see. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Ultimate X-Men Volume 2. Love it. All right. Ultimate Fantastic Four Volume 1. Oh, congratulations. He got Captain America Lives and Captain America, The Trial of Captain America. Dude, that's awesome. Do you have Captain America and Captain America, The Death of Captain America? You need Captain America, Winter Soldier, Death of Captain America Lives, Trial of Captain America, and Return of the Winter Soldier. You need all 5 of them, brother. Superman, the Man of Steel, Volume 2. That includes a Great Legion story and New X-Men Planet X Modern Epic Collection. That's nice, Osama. Very good. Here's Chewy Queso. Hello. Here's Chewy Queso. It's all Daredevil, Hulk, Return of the Monster, Secret Six, Gail Simone, Avengers by Jeff Johns. Oh, now you know I'm a huge fan. I am a huge fan of that Avengers by Jeff Johns. Huge fan of it. Plus, Black Cat. Which Black Cat? Is that the new one? Absolute Batman and the World's Finest. That's nice, brother. That's a good haul, buddy. I like that. Way to go. Way to go, Chewy Queso. Love it. Love it. Let's see. All right, let me show you. I want to show you guys this. This is really cool. All right. I go to check the mail today. I check the mail today, and I see a box. I'm like, what is this? I go, did I get an eBay order that I don't know about? What is this? And I open the box, and inside the box is a letter from Russell Dow. Sends me a box. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's Russell sending a box. And I look at the box and I go, oh my God, there's books in here. There's books. Are they books for me? And I get all excited. Then I read a note, and the note says, Ray, please use these as giveaway. Get ready, guys. Please use these as giveaways on the show. It says, thank you, blah, blah, blah. It's a very nice letter. Thank you, Russell. It meant the world to me. But then he says, use these as giveaways. All right. Get ready. Get ready, guys. Still sealed. Red Coat Deluxe Edition. Red Coat Deluxe Edition. Volume 1. Look at that. Holy shit. This is, what is this book? And I know this book cost. This is a $60 book. A $60 book. Oh my God. He sent that to me. Hey Carl, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, pal. He sent that to me. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. And I go, this is wonderful. And then I look and I go, holy shit, there's another book in there. This is a $40 book. Rook Exodus Deluxe Edition. Another Ghost. Oh my God. Red Coat Deluxe Edition. Rook Exodus Deluxe Edition. Holy dude. These are amazing. This is the best. These are two of the most beautiful books ever because it's art by Jason Fabak and Brian Hitch. You guys, I cannot stress how awesome this was from Russell. This is just, Russell, this blew my mind. And I love, you know what? This is happier. This makes me happier than books coming from me. You know what I mean? Unless, of course, unless it's the books that Adam sends me, because the books that Adam sends me are awesome. Unless it's like Adam's books, those make me pretty happy. But if not, sending me books to give away, that makes me ecstatic. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Russell. So, because of that, guys, it's time to give away these books. And we will pull out the Rice Krispie Cup of Death to do so. Rice Krispie Cup of Death that still has Aaron's winning ticket. This is Aaron's winning ticket from last time. We will now fill this in the garbage. And we will start filling up the cup of death to give these away. And we'll give them away one at a time. All right? So this is pretty cool. This is very, Russell, this meant the world to me, brother. This meant the world to me. This is what I'm talking about. This is something that is a prize for my audience. I love my audience, so this is the best thing that could have happened, brother. The best thing that could have happened. I love it. So let's start giving some away. So how about let's get the first name. Let's get the first name in the cup, all right? Let's do it, guys. First name in the cup, all right? First name in the cup is going to be hello, Chewy Queso. Chewy Queso. Way to go, brother. Chewy Queso, you are going in the cup. Coily, you are going in the cup too. And Coily, you get to go in the cup because Russell included, and this, you guys, when I tell you this, you're going to shit your pants. He also sent me like $35 cash. I'm not joking. He sent me an envelope, and I opened the envelope and it had $35 in it. And I'm like, what the hell is this for? And it said, Ray, here is the shipping cost if someone from overseas wins. He actually sent me $35 to pay the shipping. So Coily, I know Coily lives in, I think, London. I'm I might be wrong, but congratulations, Coily. So you're able to be in this one, which I think is awesome. By the way, Russell just kicking ass, brother. I don't know if you guys see that. Madden, you're in the drawing, brother. Madden's in the drawing. As well as J Riff. And one more, and then we'll let Tom. We'll do a random. One more member. Jack Solo. All right. So those are the members. These are the members that got in the drawing. Chewy Queso. Coily. That's fantastic for Coily. Drink. Madden. J Riff. And Jack Solo. You guys all get put in the cup. All right? This is for Red Coat and Rook Exodus. In fact, we'll do the drawing. We'll do it on like a couple Saturdays from now because I'm getting surgery. Because I have surgery coming up next week, so we'll do it either the Saturday after my surgery. It just depends. Maybe 3 Saturdays from now. All right. Because I don't know how long I'm going to miss after surgery. Hopefully not too long. But you guys are in now. Tom, we will do a rando. All right? Let me get my phone ready. Tom, I want you to count over 25 and under 100. And then you text me. When you text me, I will stop scrolling and I will randomly pick whoever is on the screen, all right? And we'll get that person and the people under them and beneath them, or under them, above them, and under them, all right? Tom, 3, 2, 1, start counting now. Here we go. I'm scrolling. You guys can hopefully see my phone. I'm trying to show the scroll going on. I'm trying to show it. Once I get to the top, I'll start scrolling down. And we got a ways to go. That was the one that was from Muhammad. That was the super chat. So there's a way to go. A lot of questions today in the chat room, which I love it. We had great participation in the chat room today. Still scrolling. This is until Tom is done counting, guys. So we don't know. It depends on Tom. Oh, I just got a text. And the text is from Tom. Deep within the concrete womb of Gary D's subterranean vault, tonight's random winner waits. They will only cross the threshold into the Rice Krispie cup of death when Ray utters their name. Yet the shadows grow long. Batnessa and Goomba Guy are currently auditing the alleged collusion cartel of Farsender, Cyclops Fan, and Ginger Wasabi. Their working theory, ChubbyRay is the puppet master. But for now, the curtain rises on the winner. Today's rando is... Bum, 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 bum. Goomba Guy! Goomba's in twice already. Goomba. Let me get Goomba written down. Hold on. We got Goomba. Then we got underneath Goomba, Gary D. On top of Goomba, Wesley Wiggins. Wes Wiggins. Underneath Gary D, Cyclops fan. And on top of Wes Wiggins is Goomba, but Goomba's already won. So let's go on top of Goomba. Comics and tortillas. I love comics, and I love tortillas. You guys are all in the vat, the Rice Krispies cup of death. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to those of you who got in. Now, everybody, you're all going to get a chance to get in. You'll all get a chance to get in. We'll do this for a couple weeks because we don't know how long the surgery is going to take. So congrats to everybody who got in. All right. Don't you come on top of me, comics. Well, yeah, sorry. But I only do one per random. Only one per random. But now you know the first, the first 9 people in or 10 people in since Goomba Guy went in twice. So not bad, right? Not bad. All right. So tomorrow, no round table because I got so much crap going on. I got to go to doctors. I got to get all this testing done. It's going to be a pain. And then my surgery is next Wednesday. So let me say, there is not going to be a show next Wednesday. We have a show tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday with all those shows. And then we'll do Monday, Tuesday next week. And then no show Wednesday. And then we'll see if I could do a show on Friday. I don't know. They're saying I won't be able to do a show Friday, but listen, I'm pretty strong. They're saying I won't be able to do a show on Friday, but let's see. And God forbid something happened to me. If something happens to me, I will tell Christina to come to the bowl and draw. All right. So if something happens to me in surgery, Christina is in charge of grabbing a name out and naming a winner. All right. So there you go. Just make sure that I don't want anybody thinking, well, if Ray dies, am I going to win or not? No, hopefully I'm not going to die. But if I do, Christina will be told, because my wife is not going to want to do it. I will tell Christina that she has to come over and pick a name. All right. But hopefully this is going to be a very easy surgery. In fact, I got to be honest. This is how hopeful I am. What they're doing is when I lost all the weight, I've got all this skin. If you can look, you can see it's all bunched up. And they're taking all the skin off. So, you know what I mean? So I get all this skin taken off, thank God, which is great. No, don't leave us with Christina. That's exactly what my people say on the Morning Disaster Show too. But they're telling me that I'm going to have to take off so much time. Meanwhile, I am predicting after my surgery, of course, I'll be gone Wednesday because of the surgery. But I think I'm going to be back Friday night for ChubbyRay Comics. I think I can be back Friday. And then I'm off of my Morning Disaster Show till the following Tuesday. But my plan is to be back Friday and Saturday. So I'm hoping I just missed one ChubbyRay Comics show. All right? That's the plan. So we've got a show tomorrow. I'm going to try to reach out to Cody Collects. So if any of you guys are fans of Cody's, leave a message saying, hey, Cody, do Ray show, do Roundtable tomorrow. Because I want Cody to come on with Dom, and I just want to talk comics and take questions. So you guys let's all get some good questions. Let's all get good questions for Cody and Dom, because that's who I want. That's who I want to have. Um, that's who I want to have on tomorrow's roundtable. Okay. In fact, I'm going to send them. Let me send them. I want to send them an email right now. I'm sending them an email saying, "Hey guys, I'm going into surgery next week. So I've been too busy to line up a new interview and write questions for a roundtable." So, roundtable. I know my viewers want Dom and Cody answering questions over an interview anyways. Besides, you guys can plug. They do a show called Solicitation Station. If you guys watched it, it's great. I would love it if you guys could come on and take questions. And then I'll wait for them to email me back and then, but let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. I'm sending the email right now. It's going out to Dominic, Dom of X, and Cody Collects. I'm hoping that they will agree to come on tomorrow for roundtable, and all we'll do is just talk comics. We will just talk comics, and we'll take questions. And I want good questions, everybody. And we will just take questions from the audience. All right. By the way, Tom says, "Ray, you know I've had 2 kidney transplants, and they've had to staple the sites, and it took me a while to get back on my feet because of the pain. Do not try to do something you are not supposed to." Well, Tom, in this world, there are strong people like myself who can handle pain. And then there are others. I am convinced that I will be able, listen, I might be wearing sweatpants and a robe, I might have sweatpants and a robe on, if you guys don't mind. But my plan is next Friday. My surgery is Wednesday morning. My surgery is like Wednesday morning at like 10 o'clock or something, or 9 o'clock or whatever. Which, by the way, my plastic surgeon put it later because he doesn't want to wake up too early to do the surgery. Which, listen, I'd rather him get some rest. All right. So then I go in for my surgery. Then I come out Wednesday afternoon. My plan will be, of course, I'll miss that Wednesday show. My plan will be Friday to come in here and do the show. That is my plan. That is my. Tom says, "Oh, great, we're getting Hugh Hefner." Tom, that is my plan. Now I might have to beg Christina to come on as an admin to control the chat room, or maybe I give Tom admin powers. I'm not sure how I do that, but maybe I'll give it to Tom, and that way he can highlight questions and stuff, because maybe I don't know, but I'm just trying to figure out the easy way to do this stuff. All right. But my plan, I'm not joking. My plan is to do the show next Friday. Surgery Wednesday, take off Thursday, and come back Friday. Like I said, I might be wearing sweatpants and a bathrobe, but my plan is to be here Friday night. So keep your fingers crossed for me. And we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully taking questions with Domovex and Cody as my guest. We will get more entries for the Rook Exodus and Red Coat Deluxe Editions giveaway. Oh my God. Next Tuesday says, Ray's so full of shit. The day after surgery, he's going to be posing for the upcoming Calvin Klein. You know it, buddy. I'll be standing in front of the mirror, flexing, checking out my muscles, I'll be checking my muscles, making sure to make sure my shoulders, I want to flex. I want to make sure that I look good. I'm like, how's my flex? I want to make sure I look good. Ugh. I'll be checking it out. Ugh. Check out my shoulder flexes. Yeah, come on. I'll be ready. I love it. Gary D says, Ray might be under the influence of meds and giveaway. Listen, here's the other thing that Russell did. Russell included with the deluxe editions that he donated to give away, he included some Batmobiles. So we might be giving away some Batmobiles. We might be giving away a Batmobile. How about that, huh? Might be giving one away, guys. So Goomba Guy says, don't get us excited like that. You know, buddy. That's right. Who knows? I might be posing for Calvin Klein. I've been approached by the club I work out in. They want to sign me an endorsement deal for a billboard. Can you imagine me going from 600 pound fat ass, 600 pounds morbidly obese Ray Lytle to being on a billboard? Come on. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? But that's what that's what happens. Anybody can do it. Anybody, you guys, you got to eat less, move more, and you got to count calories. It's all that bullshit they say. Count calories. And then get with smart medical professionals. If you have a weight loss doctor in your town, get with them. You see, a thing I didn't mention is they found out that I had a metabolic disorder. I'm not going to get into everything, but that I had a metabolic disorder because when I was a kid, I played football, basketball, baseball. In fact, I was 400 pounds. I still played basketball every day. That's how I ruined my knees. They found out I had a metabolic disorder. I was not digesting correctly. I was not digesting. Usually when you eat protein turns to energy and carbohydrates turn to body fat. Everything that I was eating was turning to body fat. And so they had to figure it out. They had to figure it out and all this stuff. So all this stuff, all these things went in to me losing my weight. And I tell you, every day I feel better. Every day I feel better. And so to anybody out there that has weight problems, please take my advice. Get some help. Because every day I'm thankful because I think I'll live longer now. I'm not sure that 600 pound Ray Lytle would be reading comics in his 70s. I'm pretty sure that ChubbyRay Comics will be able to read comics until I'm 80 years old. So, and it's because I started working out. I started moving more. I started eating better, and I've lost this weight, and I just feel a lot better. And my wish is for all of you to feel better. And this is not just weight. It's got to do with emotions and making sure you're mentally happy and everything in your life is going good. It's all important. Everything's important. So just remember that. I love Crushing Crisis. I think they're great. Crushing Crisis, when they do their show, at the end, they always talk about humanity. They always talk about humanity and caring for other people. And my God, 100% I agree with everything they say. On this show, I hope you guys realize how important you are to me because it's a community. What we have built here is a community of people who love comics. And we also see the fun. Not only do we love comics, we also see the fun in community. Everybody in this community, you love to bust each other's balls in a good nature. You love to poke fun in a good nature. You love the fact that you feel better watching this show. At least I hope you all feel better. And that's what I hope. What you get out of this is feeling better. Number one, because you're thinking about comics. God, there's nothing better in the world than comics, except for family. There's nothing. And I'll tell you, there's parts of my family, comics are a lot better. The exceptions, my wife and daughter are above the comics. The rest of the family, pretty sure my comics are above them. But I'm telling you, it is amazing what this community does. It gives us something we all have in common with. We all have a sickness with these comics, and we get to share that sickness when you come over and watch these live streams. And I thank you guys. You guys mean the world to me. All right. Last thing. I'm getting ready to record a video. I'm ranking the all-time Avengers runs. All right. All-time Avengers runs are getting ranked. The Jeff Johns run, the Grant Morrison run, Mark Waid's Justice League Unlimited, Brad Meltzer, Dwayne McDuffie's run, the Scott Snyder run, and for some reason it's not there, but I've got the Bronze Age runs. I don't know where my Bronze Age run is, but I've got the Bronze Age run too. And by the way, with Bronze Age, it could have been just Jerry Conway. You know what I mean? Or it could have been Or it could have been somebody different. Because you got all the guys who wrote during that time. There's so many. So what am I missing? What am I missing, guys? I've got Jeff Johns. I've got Grant Morrison. I've got Brian Hitch. What else? What else am I missing? What else do I need to, what else do I need on there? Oh, Gracie says Justice League International. Yeah. That you know what? Cyclops fan, you guys are right. Yeah, Justice League International. You know what? That's a great idea, guys. Justice League International. That's right. I didn't pick that. I should. All right, Justice League International it is. Right? What else am I missing? Is there Justice League Detroit? Should that be on there too? I'm trying to rank all the runs. I'm just asking what run should be ranked. And I'd love it to let you know. Should I pick Justice League Dark, or should that be on there, or is it completely different? What do you guys think? Next Tuesday says Justice League Dark. Should I go the Silver Age, go with the Gardner Fox era? What should I do? Extreme Justice from the 90s? That's not going to be on. What should we do? Silver Age, Fox, Sikowski should be there, although I personally don't like. You know what? Cyclops fan, you're right. I should pick the Gardner Fox era. So I think I'm going to do Grant Morrison, Brad Meltzer, Dwayne McDuffie, Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, Bronze Age. I'm just going to call it Bronze Age. Scott Snyder, Justice League International, and Gardner Fox era. All Justice League except for the Mark Waid era, which is Justice League United. Or should I put the Mark Waid era? I could do Mark Waid era after Grant Morrison era, because it was an era and it contained Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel is pretty cool. So maybe I put that in. So I just wanted some advice. And call it, the Mark Waid era. And then rank them. There's not going to be a ChubbyRay swimsuit calendar. Goomba says Mark Waid should be part of the Grant Morrison run. Yeah, I know they were done at the same time because it was Morrison, then he took a break and Waid took over, and then Morrison came back. But you guys, if you read the Grant Morrison era, read any bit of the Grant Morrison era, and then read Tower of Babel. Those are two eras. Those are two different eras. And let me know how many should I rank? Should I rank like the top 7, top 5? Should I do the full 10? Wes says you can't combine Melter and McDuffie and then separate Wade and Morrison. Maybe you're right. Oh, Wade, you might have convinced me there, Wes. Might have convinced me. Yeah. Chewy cases. Maybe I got to go 10. Maybe I got to go 10. You're right. All right. All right. I'll go top 10. I'll go top 10. I will combine Morrison and Wade. And I'm recording this video. So this is probably going to be, tomorrow's going to be Trade Paperback Tuesday. Tomorrow's going to be, Wednesday will be the Justice League one. Anyway. All right, guys. There you go. Great show, everybody. Thank you so much for your comments. You guys are always great. I promise we'll get more people entered in to win our deluxe edition tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some guests on to talk comics. But if we don't get guests on, we'll still talk comics. But no interview because I got testing that I got to do, so I'm not gonna have time to write questions. And I know this is shocking, but I actually write questions and prepare for my interviews. So, there you go. All right, I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. So long.